Welcome to the weather forecast for the week beginning Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. This is Chief Meteorologist John Yensworth for Longmont Public Media, and I'm in a new location on new equipment, just vacationing, so hopefully this looks good. The camera does not work, so I'm still not off to the right of the screen. Taking a look at our moon phase for this week, now just a little bit after the forecast period, July 1st, Thursday, we have the third quarter moon in the morning sky, so nothing for our walk in the evening. Checking in on drought, obviously this matters a lot with the fires that are beginning again. So going from last week to this week, nothing happened on the eastern plains. Everything is still drought free, but this little section of the central mountains got a little drier. So we really need western Colorado rain. Looking at nationally, not much changes either. A little worsening of the drought in the upper Great Plains. Of course, right here in Colorado. Because of the dry conditions and a few hot periods and windy periods, we now have fires starting across the state. I don't think any of these are exceptionally large at this time, but that can change. Got the Muddy Slide, the Oil Spring, Sylvan, Straight Creek, Pack Creek, Trail Canyon, Vosburg Pike, and I believe there's one up in Wyoming that is contributing to the smoke as well. Taking a look at that smoke for Wednesday afternoon, we have the high or the ridge axis over Colorado still, kind of giving this clockwise rotation to the atmosphere, and you can see little trails of this is forecasted smoke, so it's not necessarily exactly what's going to happen because it's also having to assume what the fire activity will be each day. Look at the rainfall, and definitely got more rain on the plains, so the haves get more and the have-nots don't get anything. So the western slopes here is Grand Junction out here. Got little trails of a few thunderstorms, but overall very little precipitation. Right around Longmont, also very little. We kind of got missed by most of the storms. Looking at the severe weather probability, going from the last week of May to the beginning of July, you can see it kind of expanding up the plains and a little bit towards us in the northeast part of the state, and going into the end of the June and the beginning of July, it is starting to lessen on the plains as the atmosphere sort of evens out. You don't get the strong temperature contrast, and the jet usually moves north, but it's still kind of possible here, so we still need to keep an eye out for hail and isolated tornadoes when severe weather occurs. So the big picture story is this regime change in the atmosphere. We go from a ridge, big huge ridge here, right across Colorado, Longmont, like right under the ridge line there, and the influence of this persistent little cutoff low out here and a trough that's going to kind of reconnect with it, and that will really rapidly push this ridge down into the southeast. By Thursday, it's off in Texas and the southeast, with this connecting trough descending very quickly on us. Taking a look at the normal temperatures, going from 85 to 88 across the next 10 days, still climbing, even though we've passed the summer solstice and the summer has begun astronomically. Temperatures will rise because we still gain more energy from the sun than we lose from the earth, and the earth is radiating heat in all directions day and night. The sun is just pumping it in to this part of the earth in the daytime, of course, but that will turn around in the next month. We'll see it level off and begin to drop again. Low temperatures rising from 55 to 57, and here's our big cool down stretching from Thursday basically all the way off to Tuesday before we start to see something kind of warm coming along. These are above normal temperatures at the beginning with that ridge. We don't go back to above normal in the next 10 days. We have this big chance of precipitation here from Thursday through Sunday. Scattered thunderstorms from Monday through Thursday next week, but this is the big area of focus right here. Let's put the upper atmosphere into motion. We have the low off the west coast. There goes the ridge rapidly down to the south and gets kind of pushed away, and this big trough remains with that low down here for a while. It just kind of keeps it anchored, and then it kind of reforms a cutoff low here with us getting due north winds aloft. So it's cool air. Even if the ridge is trying to reestablish by Wednesday, Thursday next week to the west of us, we are on the cool north wind side of that. And look at that low just stay right over the northern plains with a big blob of cool air aloft. We don't quite get to July 4th, so we don't quite get the July 4th preview yet. Here's our above normal temperatures for Thursday, and then quickly that trough comes in. You can see the afternoon thunderstorm blossoms of cool. Then the cold front itself really settles in, especially east of the divide, off into Sunday, and then into Monday, and still into Tuesday with the north winds here. There's the extreme heat in the Pacific Northwest on the other side of the ridge, but we stay pretty cool. Thunderstorms for a moment, and July 2nd is cool. July 3rd, we still have cool on the eastern side of the mountains. Heat seems to be returning right at that last second. As atmospheric moisture goes, I won't play this whole loop, but the moisture does stay pretty prevalent across the entire west. There's moisture to work with almost every day that the upper atmosphere cools down and we get some heating down at the surface. You can see a little cool front spread down the plains right there into Tuesday. So looking at precipitation, at the beginning we have the ridge, then quickly Thursday the thunderstorms move in. Friday we see another little blob of activity. There's the big cold front sweeping out. Into Saturday we have upslope chance of rain. By Saturday afternoon to Sunday it largely stays south of the state from there forward. So for precipitation totals from the GFS, and the models are in disagreement as to how much upslope and how long that lasts. The GFS is kind of on the dry side, giving us below to a quarter, so 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain around Longmont. Areas above Boulder and above Colorado Springs may be getting an inch to inch and a half. The northern mountains also a good hit of precipitation. Going out the next 10 days, the mountains get a little bit more with thunderstorms, not too much changes on the plains. You can see Longmont's now in the 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch area with some lucky additional hits of thunderstorms. So over the next 7 days, nearly hitting 100, maybe we will, on Wednesday. Then the cool down comes in on Thursday as the front arrives late morning, around noon. Should be a line of thunderstorms with that. Storminess continues on into Friday. We don't get above 70 probably. Saturday's about the same, and then we start a bit of a warm-up on Sunday as the precipitation chances finally drop, and we're back to more of a normal everything at the beginning of next week. For more frequent weather updates and local news, check out longmontleader.com. This has been John Insworth at Longmont Public Media. Keep looking up.